I need your help. Please subscribe my channel. My name is Anna Marston. I'm 33, running a small consulting firm in Manhattan, and I've spent most of my adult life bending over backward to make my family proud. I've helped pay off my parents' mortgage, covered my brother's car loan, and even chipped in for my sister's graduate tuition. Every time they said, "You're the successful one, Anna," it came with an unspoken demand, another favor waiting to be filled. Last Tuesday my phone buzzed at 5:17 a.m. An early, unwelcome intruder. A Facebook notification. My mother had posted a photo. She and Dad were grinning at the airport, flanked by my siblings Ivy and Daniel, and Daniel's wife Tessa. Everyone held champagne flutes beneath a sign reading Rome Airways. The caption boasted, "Family only Rome bound." I stared unmoving for a full minute. Unsurprisingly, I wasn't tagged. Then another ping, my corporate credit card. 6 first-class tickets, 2 luxury hotel suites in Rome, a private driver, multiple restaurant reservations, all charged to my account. I'd given my parents access to that card for emergencies, explicitly instructed them never to touch it without permission. I had trusted them. Opening my laptop, the charges kept rolling in. Florence, Amalfi Coast, Milan. And then one line froze me completely. Wine tasting. $11,537. $11,000 on wine in a single night? Apparently my family didn't just take a trip. They were using my money as their personal piggy bank. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I went still. There's a particular kind of betrayal that doesn't ignite fury instantly. It numbs you, freezes you in place. They hadn't merely forgotten me this time. They had stolen my trust and converted it into their indulgence. By 5:30 a.m., I had called American Express, reporting the charges as unauthorized and requesting a thorough review. I contacted the airline to cancel their return flights. They were already somewhere over the Atlantic. Hotel bookings, private drivers, tours, all erased except the wine. That one indulgence they could savor on their own. At 6:03 a.m. my phone erupted. First Mom, then Dad, Ivy, Daniel. Call after call, 27 in total. I didn't answer. A voicemail from Ivy whispered fearfully, "Anna, the hotel says the reservation's invalid. Bags are locked inside. Mom's freaking out and Dad's card isn't working. What's going on?" I listened once, then deleted it. They didn't yet realize I was behind it. By sunrise, an email arrived from Mom. A feigned apology followed by a line that made my hand tremble. "We didn't think you'd mind sharing a little. You're so successful now, a little. 6 first-class tickets, 2 hotel suites, $11,000 in wine." That, in her eyes, was a little. I read it twice, then deleted it, letting the silence of my apartment absorb the betrayal. Lucas stirred beside me, murmuring, "What's wrong?" I showed him the Facebook post. His jaw clenched. "They used your business card again?" I nodded. "They treat you like an ATM," he said quietly. "You can't keep letting them do this." "I'm not," I whispered. "Not this time." The morning passed in methodical precision. Screenshots, receipts, booking confirmations, all cataloged into a folder I labeled proof. For the first time I wasn't reacting, I was reclaiming control. By the time my family touched down in Rome, every reservation had vanished. Their flights home were canceled, drivers gone. Their luxury itinerary reduced to nothing. My phone buzzed incessantly. Calls, messages, one urgent email titled "Family Stranded." I didn't respond. I just closed my laptop and whispered, "This isn't revenge." Not yet. It had stopped being about money. It was about respect. For years, my silence had been mistaken for weakness. They believed they could keep using me because that's what good daughters do. Not anymore. Stranded and panicked, my family was finally facing the consequences of their entitlement. And for the first time I felt free. By noon, messages flooded in, voicemails, texts, missed calls. Each one radiated panic. Daniel's first voicemail sounded impatient, irritated rather than apologetic. "Anna, something's wrong with the card. We can't check in anywhere. Mom says it's your fault. Can you fix it?" Minutes later, Mom's voice arrived in another memo. "We didn't realize the card would be a problem. Please sort it out, darling. We're supposed to meet the driver in 20 minutes. No remorse, just polite authority disguised as a request. By early afternoon, I confirmed the return flights were officially voided. Hotel charges reversed, dinner reservations canceled, private car refunds confirmed. Everything fell quietly, efficiently. That night, the last transaction appeared. A 9-page wine order in Florence, totaling $11,537.48. I left it untouched. Let them taste their own arrogance. Ivy called again at 9:48 p.m., trembling. Anna, please. We can't get into the hotel. The front desk says the booking was canceled under your name. Mom's crying, Dad's furious. She added softly, they don't know I'm calling you. Please help. Pity flickered briefly, then vanished. I remembered all the times I had been excluded. The family dinners I never attended, vacations I only saw on social media. The countless moments they proclaimed, "You're so independent, Anna. You don't need us." Apparently they needed me now. The following morning, Mom's email arrived. 5 paragraphs of excuses masquerading as concern. Their tone remained the same. We didn't mean to exclude you. You're busy with work. You'd hate the chaos anyway. And that phrase again, we didn't think you'd mind sharing a little. Sharing. Theft in their language. I called the airline again, confirming that no rebookings had been authorized. Yes, someone had tried using my details. I smiled. Unauthorized. Locked the account. By the end of day 2, their trip had collapsed entirely. No hotels would honor their card. Tours canceled. Names flagged in every link system. Another call came from Ivy, exhausted and sobbing. They won't let us back in. Our luggage is locked. Dad's yelling. Mom's pretending it's a mistake. I paused, then spoke with calculated calm. You could start by telling Mom to call Amex and explain how she got the card. Silence. Then Ivy whispered, Anna, she said you didn't want to come, that you made your choice years ago. I said nothing. She exhaled shakily, please just help us get home. I hung up. That night I reviewed every charge, every receipt, every email confirmation. My family had built a vacation on my money, my name, my absence. Lucas came home, leaning against the counter. You don't have to keep tracking them. You already won. This isn't winning, I said. It's proof. The next morning, I flagged every transaction for fraud investigation. Someone had tried to rebook flights again. Another message from Dad. Enough games, Anna. We need to talk. I didn't answer. They still believed forgiveness could be demanded. By evening, coffee in hand, I sat by the window. My phone buzzed relentlessly. Echoes of panic from across the ocean. For once I let it ring. Family had always meant, as long as you're the one paying. They wanted a family-only trip. Now they had it without me. 2 days after freezing the trust, Mom requested a meeting. Polite but laced with panic. Let's talk in person, Anna. Just us. No lawyers. Curiosity won. I agreed. We met at the cafe I frequented in college, the same spot she once called our place. She sat at the corner table, sunglasses hiding half her face, smiling like nothing had happened. Sweetheart, she began, standing halfway, waiting for a hug. I didn't move. She settled back. You look tired. Sleeping well. I laughed once. You're asking if I'm sleeping well after you emptied my accounts? She flinched, barely exhaled. You're overreacting. It was a misunderstanding. We thought you knew. You thought you could get away with it. You always do, I interrupted. That's not fair, she said. What isn't fair? I whispered. Using my business card to fund a trip you told everyone was family? Do you even hear yourself? She looked away, then tried a softer, pleading tone, the one she always used. We just wanted to bring the family together. You're so busy with work. We didn't want to pressure you. We thought borrowing a little would be fine. Stop calling it borrowing, I said. You spent over $70,000 on yourselves. That's not borrowing, Mom. That's theft. Her arms crossed, voice low. You've changed. I've grown up, I said. And you never noticed. Her lips pressed together, the weight of realization beginning to settle in. This looks terrible. To the family, to the bank, to everyone. What's the point of shaming us? I pulled a folder from my bag and set it on the table. Inside were audit reports, transaction logs, and a printed letter from Uncle Martin confirming everything. This isn't shaming, I said. It's accountability. She didn't open it. She just gave me that familiar look. The one that said, "How dare you defy me? You always want to paint us as the villains," she said. I took a slow breath. You made yourselves look that way. I just stopped hiding it. For a moment we were silent. The clinking of coffee cups around us punctuated the quiet. Then she leaned in, her voice low. You'll regret this when you're alone, Anna. Family doesn't last forever. I met her gaze. Neither does trust. Her expression faltered ever so slightly. We were going to use that money for everyone, she added. A family home in the Catskills. A place for all of us. It wasn't selfish, she said, hoping to convince me. It was selfish, I replied evenly, because you planned to buy it with my money, and I wouldn't even be welcome there. Uncle Martin told you everything? Her eyes widened. He shouldn't have had to, I said. You should have told me yourself. For the first time she had no answer. Her hands trembled as she reached for her coffee. You've always misunderstood us. You think it's about money. I shook my head. No, Mom. It's about respect. And you've spent your whole life showing me you don't have any. Her voice rose, losing its polite mask. You think cutting us off makes you strong? It makes you cruel. I stood, gathering my folder. If protecting myself makes me cruel, I can live with that. As I turned, she called after me one last time. You're not punishing us, Anna. You're punishing yourself. I paused at the door. Maybe, I said. But this time it's my choice. Outside, the air felt lighter, cleaner. I realized how many years I had spent suffocating under obligation. At home, a message awaited me from Dad. Can we talk man to man? I stared at it, then replied, I'm not your son. An hour later, Ivy texted, asking for a family meeting. Just once, she said, to get everything out in the open. I didn't respond immediately. After a minute, I typed back, fine. My terms. Neutral location. Everyone signs a release. No more manipulation. The following Friday, I reserved a conference room at a downtown hotel. Neutral ground. No one's turf. I sent the address and rules to the family group chat. Meeting scheduled 4 p.m. Arrive on time. Discussion will be recorded. No interruptions or shouting. Each of you will receive a copy of what's said. Refusal to attend will be taken as acknowledgement of guilt. No replies came, but by 4:02 p.m. they all showed up. Mom first, stiff and avoiding my eyes. Dad followed, pretending calm. Ivy looked anxious, gripping her phone. Daniel, ever the peacemaker, rolled his eyes before sitting. I stayed standing, the folder in front of me thicker than before. Statements, screenshots, emails, even voice memos. Before we start, I said, sliding a stack of release forms toward them. Sign these. It confirms this meeting is recorded and you consent. Daniel scoffed. What is this, a courtroom? No, I said evenly. This is me protecting myself. You've all had your turn talking behind my back. Now you speak where everyone can hear. Dad signed first, muttering about drama. Mom hesitated, then scrolled her name. Ivy signed quietly. Even Daniel relented when he saw I wasn't moving without it. I pressed record on my phone. Let's start with the Italy trip. Mom jumped in. Anna, please. We've already talked. You misunderstood. Misunderstood what? I asked. Using my business card without permission? Calling it family only while posting online. Dad's voice rose. You're blowing this out of proportion. You're acting like we stole from you. I met his eyes. You did. He slammed his hand on the table. We're your parents. Exactly, I said softly. Parents don't steal from their children. Silence filled the room. I opened the folder, laying printed statements in the center like evidence. These are all the charges under my name: flights, hotels, jewelry, spa treatments. Even Daniel's car repair last December. Daniel blinked. What? No. Don't. Mom interrupted sharply, shooting him a look. I turned back to her. Go on. Tell him what you said. Her voice faltered. It was a temporary arrangement with my business funds. How temporary? I asked. Silence. I slid another document forward. Letter from Uncle Martin. He confirmed you bragged that Anna's card covered it all. Mom pressed her lips together. Dad muttered. Martin should have kept quiet. I leaned back. He was the only one with decency to tell me the truth. You all hid behind lies and guilt. Ivy's voice was soft. I didn't know about the money. I swear. I thought you didn't want to come on the trip. I believe you, I said. But you also didn't question it, did you? You saw them using my card and said nothing. Tears welled in her eyes. For the next hour I went line by line. Every expense, every lie, every excuse. Dad's defensiveness faded into silence. Mom oscillated between calm and desperate guilt. You can't just cut us off, she said. We're your family. I am cutting off your access, I said firmly. Not my humanity. I've supported this family since I was 23. You drained me. You didn't protect me. Daniel leaned forward. So what now? You just walk away. I laughed softly. Raising me isn't an investment. You don't earn interest on love. He opened his mouth, but Dad's hand stopped him. I closed the folder. Here are my conditions. No access to my accounts, no loans, no pretending we're something we're not. You've lost my trust. I won't rebuild it. Mom's face crumpled. You can't mean that. I do, I said. Next time you need money, call a bank. Next time you want control, find another target. I'm done. So you're really walking away? She whispered. I already did. You just never noticed. No one followed me out. I felt their eyes, disbelief, resentment, but I didn't turn back. That night, I did what I should have years ago. I blocked their numbers: Mom, Dad, Daniel, Ivy gone. The family group chat deleted. Lucas waited when I got home. He didn't ask questions. He took my phone and said softly, "You're free now." I nodded, though it still felt strange. Freedom was quiet, clean. For the first time I was unreachable, and it was peaceful. 7 months passed. No calls, no emails, no forced visits. At first, the silence felt unnatural, like the lull after a storm. I checked my phone out of habit, expecting guilt-laden messages or disguised apologies. But nothing came. Eventually, the silence became comfort. My life finally belonged to me. I moved the remaining business funds into a new LLC in my name, changed all passwords, closed the joint trust, and started donating small amounts to a nonprofit helping women recover from financial abuse. Symbolic, transformative. What they took became something better. I remember Mom saying, "We didn't think you'd mind sharing a little." I used to replay it, furious at her dismissal. Now it sounds empty. Sharing isn't taking. Love isn't control. The boundary I spent a lifetime fearing to draw became clear. Lucas once said, "You were taught peace comes from keeping others comfortable. But real peace starts when you stop apologizing for existing." He was right. I used to measure my worth by usefulness, by giving, by saying yes. When I stopped, the truth emerged. The people who stayed because I was convenient disappeared. Those who loved me for me remained. One early autumn evening, a letter arrived at my office. No return address, just my name in Mom's handwriting. It said, "We didn't mean to lose you." No apology, no ownership. I folded it once and tucked it into my drawer, not for forgiveness but closure. Losing me wasn't accidental. It was a choice made every time they treated love like currency. I've learned peace isn't reconciliation. It's release. You can love someone deeply and still refuse to let them hurt you again. I don't regret canceling those flights, freezing accounts, or leaving that cafe. For years they wrote the story. Responsible daughter, family helper, quiet one who never complains. Now I write it myself. Last week I took a trip with Lucas. No luxury, just a small coastal cabin. Waking to waves instead of phone alerts felt simple, honest, real. One night by the fire, Lucas asked if I missed them. I thought, then said, "I missed the version I hoped existed, not who they actually were." He nodded. "Then you're healing." And he was right. Healing doesn't always mean forgiveness. Sometimes it means distance. Back home, I deleted the last family photo from my phone, the one with everyone smiling but me missing. I replaced it with an ocean shot, sunlight over water. Whether they think of me or not is irrelevant. For the first time, I'm not waiting for approval. Family isn't blood. It's honesty, presence, and never demanding payment for belonging. That's a balance I'll never lose.